That's right, we're back again. We're almost to 50,000. I know I said I wanted to hit it today, basically. I don't think that's gonna happen. I need 100 and like what, 14. Yeah, that's what it is. It's right on the screen right there. So that's pretty close, but I don't think that we're actually going to be able to hit that. But I do want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody that is new that decide to subscribe. You guys definitely help me out tremendously, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you guys so much, and let's get into the video. So the first topic that I'm going to be talking about is Peter killing. I think a lot of people actually missed out on this part because honestly it's so quick, and honestly it probably is nothing, but in the trailer we see Mary Jane standing over somebody in the same spot where Peter was of course chasing her, and this could be one of two things. One, it could be Peter after he just lost the symbiote. Maybe that's where Miles and him fight, or maybe that's where maybe that's a church and we just didn't really think about it then. But of course, the other option could be in that scene when Peter's really getting taken over by the symbiote, where he's chasing MJ and he's going crazy, he accidentally kills somebody. And I think that that would be honestly a really crazy idea to kind of go with, and it's not something that's new in the Spider-Man mythos. I mean, in the comics before, he has accidentally killed somebody, so it could be a good callback to that, like just like having him accidentally kill somebody, or just have him be possessed by the symbiote and kind of have it be like it's not his fault. Of course he'll still be traumatized by that, but it's still, again, it's not technically his fault. It could be a lot like the Batman episode where he like gets possessed by Deadman and shoots somebody, and then he's like, dude, I killed somebody. Everybody's like, you didn't kill anybody. Batman's like, bro, somebody just possessed my body. So I think that it could be a similar type of concept to that, and I could see them doing something like that. And also, it could be a good callback to Web of Shadows as well. In Web of Shadows, the bad ending, he literally murders Eddie Brock. I mean, he ties a freaking web around him and sends him into propellers and murders him. This is evil. This is horrible. Jesus Christ. Like, holy shit. So maybe they give us an option where we could kill somebody in this game, or something along those lines. But honestly, if they do it in any way, I can see them just doing it for the story. I don't see them doing it for, of course, an options type of a situation like Web of Shadows did, because that is insane, dude. He just literally murders a man right there. I mean, that is nuts. If anything, like I said, he'll do it on accident, like he did in the Spider-Man versus Wolverine comics to that one girl. I forgot what her name was, but he literally just turns around and BAM! Oh! That's horrible. I would feel so fucking bad, but it's just, that's something that can happen, and it could really trigger Peter in more than one way. So I think that that's a good way to make him suffer more in this game. And of course, they said it's going to be darker. It's going to be a lot more of a dark game. So, who knows how far they're going to go with that type of topic or that type of theme and tone. So I'm excited to see that. Hopefully, maybe I'm right. We'll see. I'm never really right with some of these theories, but I'm right sometimes. Another thing I want to talk about is the boss battles. Honestly, like, I want to talk about the boss battle changes, and a lot of people have a lot of critiques and criticisms, and I have a few of them too, I guess, because I like the first game's boss battles. I'm not gonna lie, like the dual boss battles when you fight Electro and you fight Vulture at the same time, like that's a really fun air boss battle that you can have. And honestly, if they kind of evolve off of that and they keep kind of going with that design or doing something similar to that, they could really hit it out of the park. So I think that they could do something really fun like that, kind of bring back the dual boss battles. But of course, I want them to have a lot more boss battles as well. Honestly, like, it needs to be kind of like Ragnarok, where in the first game there was maybe like, oh man, it's kind of hard to say, maybe like 6-7 boss battles, like all together, like realistically, if you really total them all together. And then in the next game, there's like freaking 50. So there's a lot more, and a lot more variety of characters and of course, like enemies and stuff like that. So they could do something like that in this game, and I hope that they do something like that in this game. And I also think that having a situation where it is like, again, this is going to be a weird thing to say, a dual boss battle where it's literally Miles and Peter against a bunch of villains. And I think that that would be a very, very fun thing to do in this game. Or you can have another thing too, where you can have an option to rather fight the villain with Peter or Miles, and then the other guy just runs off and goes and saves, like a building explodes and you're like, oh shit, and then it freezes and you're like, who do you want to pick, Miles or Peter? And then you go and like, save the civilians as Peter and then fight the villain as Miles. I think that would be really, really fun. A little different of a concept that they didn't do in the first game, that they have the option to do now because they have 2 Spider-Man, and I think that would be a really good thing to do. Also, I think that having multiple choices for the bosses if you're the symbiote, like potentially even fighting a villain and having the option to beat the shit out of them or kind of calm down a little bit, you know, kind of like have the option to kill them, like in a way, but not really kill them, you know what I mean? Just like brutalize them in many ways and make them fear you. They can't really do the nemesis system, but I think that something along those lines with the villains where they remember what you did to them. Like in the story, you're like, okay, I'll tell you everything I know. Just don't fucking throw me off a roof again or some shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I would love to see some type of variety with the symbiote, or even seeing if you could switch in between that with the red and blue suit and then have different dialogue options with the bosses. Another thing that they could obviously do is give Venom a boss battle if they have Venom playable in this game. Nothing's confirmed with that. Everybody's speculating, but if he is playable, I think that having him have a boss battle would be so freaking cool. Maybe even Kraven too, because we know that Kraven's trying to fight the meanest and the freaking the most vicious people in New York. And when Venom hits the scene, I'm pretty sure he's gonna immediately target him. We see in a trailer that when he lands, we get surrounded by Kraven's people. So maybe they're trying to capture Venom. When they capture him, they take him back to a place where Kraven goes and hunts him down, and then that ensues into a boss battle. And I think that would be a very fun thing to do. I think that they're going to do something like that with, of course, Kraven in general. I think Kraven's boss battle with Peter or even Miles is going to be really, really fun. I hope they do something like that where you're being hunted by Kraven and you have to like kind of like use your senses a little bit more. Like maybe you have to have headphones, or you have to like be really aware about where he is, and have to of course they have the parry attack as well. So I think the boss battles are really going to be more in depth. There's going to be a lot more to them, and the fact that they're evolving the combat so much to include like a parry, I think that shows that they're going to include a bunch of stuff within the boss battles as well that are just super complicated movesets that you have to really look out for. So a lot more than the last game, and I'm really excited about that. And honestly, I just want to see another thing too is a Prowler boss battle, because I want to see him fight Peter as well. I might get into that with my next video later tonight, because I do have a Prowler video planned. But again, if Prowler's going to be in this game, I think that would be a really cool boss battle. I could go on and on about all the bosses I want to see. I might actually do that in another video about boss battles I do want to see. So tell me if you guys want to see that in the comments below. I'm going to be posting more later today, so definitely look out for that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.